Dallas' scoring strength begins and ends down the middle. Their center icemen are their backbone. Number 90 was brought to Dallas to give opponents a 1-2 combination that's tough to stop. And so with Tyler Seguin finding his stride, the Stars need all they can get from Jason Spezza. The Stars have caught a gust. They've won 3 out of 4, and they continue their road trip in Raleigh, North Carolina tonight inside PNC Arena. It's the Dallas Stars and the Carolina Hurricanes. The teams met earlier in November. This will finish up the meeting, and the Canes are trying to sweep the season series for the first time since Hartford did it to the Minnesota North Stars years ago. Hi, welcome to Dallas Stars Hockey along with Darryl Ray. I'm Ralph Strand. Stars coming off a nice little 2-1 win in Philadelphia. Nice because it was a defensive win, really, and they had 4 kids in on the lineup.
Yeah, the future is the present for the Stars blue line right now. All 4 of those guys were involved in that victory in Philadelphia the other night. However, late in it, they lost John Klingberg to an injury when he was rocked by the human missile that is Zach Rinaldo. Traveled a considerable distance to plow into him in the third period. Kid tried to stay in the game, but could not. It looked as though he might play here tonight. He won't. And that means the Stars' transition game gets dinged up even further with Trevor Daley at home with an injury himself. However, fellow Swede Patrick Nemeth is starting to look more and more comfortable in his return to the lineup. His minutes have ramped up. 20, 21 minutes is around the time that he should be spending on the ice. He looked as good as he's looked in that win over the Flyers the other night. He just owns his space. That's what I love about him. In front of the net, he blocks shots, he multitasks, he handles people, he has good reads defensively, a terrific gap, stays right up in the face of oncoming forwards, and basically he's just a goaltender's best friend. If you need a guy to shut things down in front of your netminder, he's a prime guy to do that. You have to wonder, though, with all these leads that the Stars have not been able to hang on to during the season, would they hang on to more of them, or have hung on to more of them if Nemeth had been healthy?
Well, the Carolina Hurricanes are also asking what if they won't make the playoffs again this season. They haven't been in since 2009. So, again, they're rebuilding now, too.
Yeah, they're unable to recover from losing their first 8 games of the season. It's tough to overcome. So they're at a spot in the season right now where they're trying to find out exactly what they have in their organization, especially on defense. They have 3 guys in the lineup tonight that have played less than 30 games this season. They do know they have one guy back there that they can really build around in the soon-to-be 23-year-old Justin Falk. Marvelous talent from the defense position. One of only 2 D-men in the league right now leading their teams in scoring. I love the way he goes about his business out of his own zone. Terrific outlet passer, but he does his best work up ice. He's got a booming shot. Likes to use it. He's deadly on their power play. 6 of his 13 goals have been scored that way. He can also score when they're shorthanded. So with all the youth they have on their blue line, you can expect the Stars to get in after them and test them throughout this one tonight.
Dallas Stars played without Cody Eakin the other night. He got sat down for disciplinary reasons. He's back in the lineup tonight, and he's in the spotlight next. The arena in Raleigh, and tonight's spotlight is delivered by Chicken Express.
It's Cody Eakin who said he was disappointed this morning when I asked him, but eager to return to the lineup, hopefully pick up right where he left off. Dazzling last 10 games for number 20. Maybe his best 10-game segment of the season. He's going to start in between Seguin and Ben here tonight. Been winning faceoffs at a high rate. Lots of kibble in his game and scoring goals. 5 goals in the 10 games. Been on the attack. And the exclamation point of that attacking, of course, that overtime winner against the Islanders at American Airlines Center.
Stars looking to win 4 out of 5. We'll drop the puck next. Dallas Stars Hockey on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by Ford. It's Ford Truck Month at your best in Texas Ford dealer. Visit TexasFord.com for details. By Southwest Airlines, book your low fare now at Southwest.com. And by Nissan, get great offers on our exciting full line only at Nissan Now. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Raleigh, the Stars and the Canes, here are the goaltenders.
Kari Lehtonen becomes just the 65th goaltender to play 500 games in the NHL. Here tonight, at the other end, Anton Khudobin was sensational in that 4-1 win over the Stars here last season. However, he's only posted 7 wins this year.
Sean Horcoff and the kids Curtis McKenzie and Brett Ritchie up front against Jay McClement and company. He's got Patrick Dwyer on his right and Nathan Gerby. Little Nathan Gerby on his left. That's Ryan Murphy going back to get it. He's pummeled by McKenzie back of the net. Ritchie trying to dig it out back there. Horkoff drifting in the slot, and Murphy comes away. They tie it up along the boards. McKenzie through his legs. It goes to the line. Jordy Ben. Start the game, he was partnered with Patrick Nemeth. He scrambled over, but now the Stars have to regroup onto their own zone. This one shot ahead. Ritchie will carry it in down the wing. Ritchie threw it in front, and this puck comes drifting out toward the line. Alex Goligoski on with the change. He'll hand it back to Jamie Benn. Ben Sagan and Cody Eakin in the middle. Tyler Sagan chasing a puck in deep. In there with Ron Hainsey. Hainsey pivots away from him in the corner. And up ahead to Alex Semin at the Dallas line. Semin only has 4 goals this season. He missed a bunch of time with injury, too.
Been a healthy scratch a lot, too. Too much talent to only have 4 goals. Wow.
It's unbelievable. And a big ticket, too, for him. Ben put it down the wing. Cody Eakin in there after the puck. Jockeying behind the net, and it slips free to Ron Hainsey. Pass ahead at center ice. Jordan Staal playing with his brother Eric Staal. Jordan is number 11. Eric is number 12. Eric is the older, and Eric is prowling. He also leads their team with 19 goals. Ales Hemsky lost the puck at center ice. Nestrashel brings it in, shot it, and a save there from Kari Lehtinen. Perry tried to fire that, hit Spezza, and he is wincing in pain. He gets himself back into defending in his zone. Puck came sliding through the crease in front, and the shot from the line blocked. It came from Mikhail Jordan. Spelled like Michael Jordan, kind of. Young Czech. Canes are in control of the puck. Perry brings it down the boards and flips it in. Kari Lehtinen stops play.
Well, I kind of like, and this is the merit of a veteran coach. He's trying to put his young rookie defenseman in a position to succeed here tonight. It appears he's got all 3 of them over on their strong sides on the left-hand side, and all his veteran guys on the right. Again, with no John Klingberg tonight, they only have 1 right-shot defenseman, and that's Jason Demers, who comes back into the lineup tonight. So Yoki Paka, Nemeth, and Big Alexiak all playing the left side to start here tonight.
26 goals and 69 points out with those 2, Daly and Klingberg. For the Stars, they're 1-2 in defenseman scoring for Dallas. Jeff Skinner hands it back. Looks for the return at center ice. And he whips it in. Carolina, 25 wins. They're offside here, and 58 points.
It's been a pretty trying first season for Bill Peters, their head coach. He's a real intense guy. New system to install. The talent pool is the talent pool here. It's not really thick with that. Not a ton of grit within their lineup. And as we mentioned off the hop tonight, they're having a look at their youth. And, you know, it's an organizational thing. What do we have? Are these guys ever going to be NHL players or not? Find out now.
That's what they're doing. And you mentioned they opened the season 0-6-2. Then they went 5-0-1, and then they only won 5 out of 23 heading to the end of the calendar year, and that pretty much finished them. Curtis McKenzie had it popped away. Loose to Ritchie, and a save Hudobin in front.
And a good one. This is a good bargy line right now for the Dallas Stars, especially early in games. And no shock that Lindy Ruff elects to start this trio at the beginning of the game.
Sort of it went unnoticed on Ritchie's goal, but that was McKenzie's first career assist the other night in Philadelphia.
Played his first NHL game against the Flyers at home, and he would make a good Flyer.
Yes, he would. Yes, he would.
In the old days.
He's right in the mold.
The way he plays.
Doesn't mind taking the body. Good offensive upside. A cautious start to this one tonight. Here comes Cody Eakin to the line. Left it for Ben. Ben delays. Late man Goligoski holding, shooting, and that's tipped over the top of the net by Jordan Staal. Sagan threw it in front, but right to Falk. And the Hurricanes bring it out to center ice. Jordan Staal to the Dallas line. Popped away. Takes it back of the net. Big guy with some reach and some range, and he's moving well. Passing it to his brother Eric. Back toward Jordan in the slot. It went into the corner. And that's where you're done. Put it back of the net. Semin had it chipped away. Ben turned, took the contact, and got it toward the Carolina line. They're looking to re-engage. Semin firing, And that's blocked by Jason Demers, who gets back in after a bout with the flu.
Rather easily to get that stick on that one. The save at the other end was a dandy. Ritchie, Horkoff, McKenzie all in there after it. Good pinch by Nemeth to start it off. He walks in, gets a loose puck, and right off the left toe of Khudobin, the netminder for the Carolina Hurricanes. And, you know, having a guy like Horkoff, he's almost like an on-ice coach, an extension of the coaching staff in between shifts and on the ice with those two kids.
It's fantastic. Victor Rask wins the face-off. Shot from the right point, block, rebound, score, Rask. And it is 1-0 Carolina. They strike first.
Very similar to what happened in Philadelphia the other night and how the goal was scored. Well, Rask is a talented young Swedish center iceman. He and Spezza take the draw, and then he gets to the front of the net. They get a juicy rebound. Spezza must have lost it on its way in. He certainly lost Rask in front of the net, gets interior position. It falls perfectly to him, and Lettinen couldn't find it. Rask did, and taps a backhand in to open the scoring.
Rask's 10th of the season. He's got 4 goals and 9 points in his last 15 games. So he's on a little push here, too.
He's another one from that 2012 Swedish World Junior Championship team that John Klingberg and Patrick Nemeth were on. There's a bunch of them in the league now.
It was a heck of a group. Jordy Benn back of his net. And a long pass off Colton Sevier ahead to center ice. Fiddlers with Sevier and Patrick Eaves. And there's Nemeth back to the puck for Dallas. Away from Skinner to Jordy Benn. Up the wing to Sevier at center ice. Colton firing it forward. McKenzie dragging it right back across against Murphy. Shot it. Khudobin. He almost got Khudobin moving off his post. But Clement dusting it off. Too far for Gerby at the Dallas line. And Alexiak will go back with it. The big rig. Pass ahead to Ritchie, and then plowing through. Here comes Horkoff into the zone. Horkoff moving in. Horkoff, and he tried to slide it over. It looked like the last instant he wanted to make the pass, and Khudobin closed it down.
Well, the kid Murphy, one of their young defensemen, pinches at the blue line. It's a good one. They always say either get the puck or get the man. So the Stars are trying to come out. There's the pinch along the boards. He does both, but there's no backup. The Stars pounce on that, generate a 2-on-1. Looked all the way like he wanted to get it over to McKenzie. A left shot over on the right side. It was played rather well, I would add to that, by Murphy's defense partner to break it up. They've had a couple of looks already in this one.
Stars have the puck out at center ice. It's Demers to Alexiak. Banks it forward to the line. Too far for Jamie Benn. Khudobin up the boards. Slip Benn again. Now it pinballs out toward the line. Alexiak firing. Khudobin at the ready. Benn getting over along the near side. Eakin centered it. Hopped away from Benn to Alexiak. Steadies the puck. Shoots it, and it's swallowed by Anton Khudobin.
Who's looked sharp here in the early going. He was the difference in the game here last year. Well, enjoy a cold one tonight. As I remind you that Miller Time is coming up later in the game. Brought to you by Pilsner Brewed. Miller Lite. They've had their looks here already in the opening 5 minutes to 6 minutes almost of this one here tonight, but they've surrendered the only goal. Coming from behind seems to be a good thing with this group right now.
Hainsey flips that out to center ice. And Hurricanes attack onside. That's Rask, the goal scorer, into the corner. Andrei Nestrashil gave it up. Roussel dragging it ahead to the line. And Rask is back for it again. Hainsey fires it over. Ball forced back. Hainsey up the middle. Glancing off Nestrashil and into the corner. Goligoski tied up his man. Hemsky has the puck. Spezza finds him. Tried to go back to Spezza at the line. Spezza shooting it high and wide. Nemeth got it in deeper. Terry up and Eaves covering at the point. His shot deflected in front by Belmore, who got an assist on that Rask goal. And up come the Canes again. Lettinen back to stop the shoot-in. They'll go up the boards, and Skinner pounced on a loose puck. Giordana drive, that one blocked. And Nemeth gloves it. Stars pop it out to center ice.
Don't trust the glass here. That one was ripped around the glass, and Kari Lehtinen, once it went off there, I don't think ever found it.
Riley Nash was bumped off the puck. There's Rasmus Ristinen, young Finnish defenseman out there with Murphy. Both draft picks of the Canes. Murphy was a first-round pick, 12th overall in 2011, and here he comes with the puck.
That was the year that Skinner was the Rookie of the Year in the National Hockey League. Their goal-scoring forward here.
Ritchie tries to get in along the boards. Ristinen tying up McKenzie. There's Ritchie plowing through against Gerby. Back of the net, shovels to Horcoff, steps out, fires it across, and Hudobin gets over, but where's the puck?
It's in.
I think McKenzie scored.
Well, he did. Back door. I heard the Stars fans in the building here tonight during the national anthem. They were rather leather-lunged with their Stars, and they've been rewarded here. This line, again, this line has been doing all the scoring for the Stars in the first periods on this road trip. Ristinen's no match for a very determined McKenzie. On the 2-on-1, Horcoff tried to get it to McKenzie. That puck should probably get cut off by the goaltender. It went right through the middle of the crease across to McKenzie, and this trio of two young bucks and the old goat have been getting it done for the Stars on this trip. Good on them. They look comfortable. The message from Sean Horcoff repeatedly to these young guys is the same thing over and over again, which is you guys have to stay physical, win all your puck battles along the boards, and your intensity has to be there every shift throughout the game. And for the most part, they're listening to him.
We'll just say check, 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 check. For McKenzie, that's his 4th goal of the season. From Horcoff and Ritchie, Horcoff has 2 more goals and 4 more points than he had all of last year. Puck chased by Jamie Benn. Hainsey with a short feed in his own zone to Jordan-Stahl. Turned it over, got it back, flipped it out to center ice. Simmons in over the line, left it for Eric Stahl. Simmons bumped off the puck. Jamie Benn out to the line. And Falk shot it wide. Comes back to the net, slips Jokipaka. Eakin, Jordan-Stahl reaching, and Eakin out-battles him only to turn the puck back over. Stahl moved it away from him. Semin to the line. Hainsey tips it back to Falk, and then right to Jamie Benn. Out of Sagan's reach at center. And this one knifed in off Jordan-Stahl.
Dangerous looking cycle by the top line of the Hurricanes there, especially to 2 stalls. But they look like they want to go with the same approach that the Flyers did the other night. Bump it back to their blue line, get people toward the front of the net, throw it in from there.
That's how they scored their first goal. Nestrashils hands it back. Jordan scooped it out, and Hemsky to the puck at center ice. We had a chorus of checks. Nemitz pass. Got through, tipped in deep, so there's no icing against Dallas. 9 minutes into the first period. Shots are 5-3 Stars in a 1-1 game. Ritchie, contact again along the boards. He took it away from Belmar. Ritchie and McKenzie pursue the puck. That's Alexiak getting there quickly. Back of the net for Brett Ritchie. Ritchie pivoting, trying to lose Jordan. Out to the line for Alexiak, now to Demers. Shot it right in on goal, and a save Hudobin. Ritchie back to McKenzie, back of the net. Trying to shake the tail. He squirts away and works it back out to Alexiak at the line. Shot it wide of the net. Hudobin wanted to gather that in, but it slips free. Here's Horcoff again. Man, this line is diligent. Alexiak prowling down the near side boards. Back of the net, off McKenzie to Horcoff. Riley Nash reaching in there. McKenzie tripped up, but he gets up with the puck. Nobody out at the line, so he'll toss it into the corner again. Belmore and Horcoff battle. Horcoff took it away. Looking in front to Ritchie, a shot just wide. And it goes to the line for Alexiak. They're keeping him hemmed in. Demers stepping away from Skinner, feeding Alexiak. Now to Eaves, who's on with the change. Eaves tucks it around the boards. Eakin hustling over after the puck. He puts it back of the net, where Eaves is going to get to it first.
Canes are in big trouble here right now. They're exhausted.
And out change, Goligoski scores! They found him in the slot. They had the Canes in big peril, and they cash in.
Well, that pair out there on defense for them, Jordan and Belmore, were so exhausted. They couldn't break up the cycle of the Horkoff line. Stars get a change in, and it's a defenseman. How about this with both Daly and Klingberg not in the lineup? The Stars' entire decor only have 8 goals combined. But they get one here, unmolested to the slot. Alex Goligoski walks in. You could hear that one get painted off the pipe and in, and the Stars have their first lead of the night. What a goal. What a shift, or shifts. They just mauled the Canes in their own zone.
Fourth goal, 29th point for Alex. One more point, the Stars will have 3 30-point defensemen. And a big part of their attack this season. Center ice, Belmore shoots it in. Eric Stahl locked up. Spezza got it free to Hemsky from Roussel. And now here come the Stars at the line, but Canes won't give it to him. Hainsey made the play. Falk bangs it ahead. Chipped by Semin over, and Goligoski back. His pass off a skate. Hainsey will grab it and take it across. Semin got a shot, but he doesn't get it off. Stahl in front. Eric Stahl, that is. McClement off the bench. Just off the end of his stick. They find him again, and he fired it wide. Falk from the right point. Shuffling it down deep. Penalty coming up here against the Stars. It'll be Jokipaka, I think. But we'll check it out. 8:37 remains in the first period. And an explosion of offense. First, it's Victor Rask. The Stars answer twice, though. Curtis McKenzie with a hungry effort. And Alex Goligoski ramming one in for a 2-1 lead.
Substitute in this game for will and hard work, and that's what Horkoff, Ritchie, and McKenzie are providing for Lindy Ruff and the Stars, especially early in games. They've really established presence in the attacking zone and produced. Here tonight's AT&T U-verse Rewind. We go back to the beginning of the road trip, the opening period in Florida, and they score a pair. McKenzie, then Horkoff with a friendly bounce on the way in. Stars went on to win that one in Philadelphia. Ritchie from a feed from McKenzie ties the game in the first period. And then here tonight, McKenzie on a goal-mouth feed from Horkoff backdoor gets the Stars tied up once again. You can't ask for any more than what they've provided. And McKenzie on top of that showed his spit and his vinegar and his moxie and all that stuff in warm-up in Florida. And then fought in the game in retaliation for the hit on Seguin that knocked him out. And what more do you want?
They're giving it their all. This one, we've got one on each. It is Goligoski for hooking and Eric Stahl for embellishing. So a little 4-on-4 hockey here. Jordy Ben, weak pass. And Nemeth goes deep again with it. Jordy to Jamie. And he works it along to Nemeth. Patrick Nemeth ahead to center ice, heaving it in. Falk and Seguin going back of the net. Falk got it to Hainsey. Ben and Seguin are there looking for it. Seguin to Ben. Out to Nemeth, a shot, save Hudobin. And Seguin all over Falk along the boards. Ben to Seguin, who's hooked on his way to the net. Couldn't quite fight through it. Jordan Stahl across the ice, and Semin taps it in for the change.
Young Falk ended up on the wrong side of Tyler Seguin, who had a little more tenacity involved in that puck battle. They're fortunate.
Here comes Horkoff again toward Ritchie in the slot. Ritchie tried to claw his way through, but it's Hudobin coming out.
You can see some of these young defensemen for the Carolina Hurricanes drinking from the fire hose a little bit here in the first period with the pressure. The more time they spend in their own zone and they're asked to read in defensive zone coverage, and just the physical one-on-one battles that the Stars are winning repeatedly. A little open ice here, a little more thinking that has to go on.
Face off to Anton Hudobin's left. It's just one win in his last 8 appearances. It was a 27-save shutout against Washington.
Yeah, he's not had a good year. Last year under Kirk Muller, he was sort of the go-to guy, and Cam Ward was trying to refine his game. But this year it's been clear-cut. You're the backup. Ward is the number one.
Ward sits tonight. He's got 18 wins this season in 43 appearances. Risselin lost the puck at the Dallas line, and Jokipaka forced to turn back. Pass into the middle of the ice. Vern Fiddler. Nudged it ahead to McKenzie. Out to Jokipaka. Took a look, then shot it, and it dies in the near corner.
This 4-on-4 set looks like it's going to be 2 minutes. We're never going to get back in our lives the way it's gone so far. Literally nothing has happened.
Yeah. 15 seconds from ending it. Jokipaka threw it back to Alexiak. Tried to go across the ice. It went off of Kane's skate. Skinner bumped off the puck at the Dallas line by Hemsky. And it's Riley Nash taking it over. The minors have expired. We're back to 5 aside. Goligoski comes into the Dallas zone. So that's over. Skinner reaching for the puck. Hemsky pushing it along. Goligoski from center shoots it on in. And Spezza winning the challenge. Jordan. Loose puck. Finally gathered in by Nestrashel. And from center ice, Nash shoots it in. Letting it out to bank it along. Demers goes back around behind to Jordy Ben. Nestrashel in for a look. Terry tries to give it back to him in the slot, and Demers goes after the puck. Now it's Roussel. Caught, but the puck came back in off McClement offside. Under 6 minutes to play in the first. Stars up 2-1 in Raleigh. Dallas Stars season tickets for next year are on sale now. Place a deposit today to secure priority to choose your seats at our new season seat event at American Airlines Center on March 21st. Just $100 per seat will do it. 214-GO-STARS or DallasStars.com.
Top line out here again for the Canes and top trio for the Stars as well. So they go power on a draw in neutral ice. I'll tell you this, if possession is so key, why not have the same markings on those 4 dots in neutral ice that they do next to the net? Look at how they cheat. Look at where Jordan Staal is. Watch his leg. He'll be sideways when they drop this.
Very good point.
Look at it.
Yep.
And they win the draw. It seems ridiculous. If you're going to start just leaning on possession so much in this sport, then put lines there and make those ones fair too.
Justin Falk ripped it, and that blocked in front. Might have hit his own man, Jordan Staal. Tyler Seguin flips it out. Seguin playing in his 3rd straight game after missing 10 after the low bridge hit from Kulikov. Seguin had 2 goals. It was his 8th 2-goal game of the year in Tampa. Did not hit the sheet in Philly the other night in the Stars' 2-1 win.
Back on the wing here tonight, and it's probably better for a guy coming back from a knee injury to not have to do as much skating as a winger as you do as a center iceman.
Jamie Benn misses this puck, and so it's icing against Dallas.
His points per game remains, one of the best in the NHL, though only 2 insane talents in Pittsburgh with a higher average than Seguin has on the season, 1.07 for Tyler. By the way, the NHL record was set by Wayne Gretzky in the 83-84 season, 2.77 per game that year. Just a skosh under 3 points a game for the great one.
Just a little bit better than what they're doing now. Brett Bellemare to center. Seguin following Terry along the boards. He'll rip it around. Bellemare to Terry, back of the net. He's got some room. He shoots it. Save Lettinen. Loose puck tipped by Seguin out of the zone, and Hudobin
move toward it, so they wave it off. Look at him. He's shocked down there. Know the rules.
Angry young man. Andre Nestrashel up ahead. Stars take it away. Nestrashel was drafted by Detroit. A lot of great things to say about Jim Nill this morning. And the young Czechs going in after Jordy Ben. Patrick Nemeth off from the right of his own net. And that puck explodes off Jordy Ben. Nestrashel going to the bench, and he turned and fired it. Winds up back of the goal. McClement shoved by Jordy Ben. Said Rissanen at the line, then dumped it back of the net. Dwyer cuffed there by Sean Horkoff. Nemeth had it tied up. Gerby slips away. He fired it. Hits McClement, and Stars having trouble locating the puck.
This is their hard-working line for the Canes.
This one planted in the Dallas bench by Brett Ritchie. Under 4 minutes left in the first period. 2-1 Dallas.
Base pretty thick for the Dallas Stars right now, even though they got Tyler Seguin back. Top 2 offensive defensemen out of the lineup. That's 26 goals and 70 points with Daly and Klingberg. Mullen's about 5 days away Rich Peverly's been out since late last season, and Val Nichushkin is here and skating with the team. Val's maybe 10 days away from being able to go down to the American Hockey League for only 3 games, though. The post-trade deadline roster rule, little conditioning stint, and then back in again. But he's moving well, and it'd be awfully nice to see that bullet back in the gun for Lindy Ruff and company.
He had 14 goals and 34 points in his rookie season last year as this puck is shot into the Dallas bench. I would think they would have figured, boy, a healthy Val Nichushkin's probably a 20-goal scorer on that top line.
Yeah, maybe. You know, some guys have a bit of a tough time in their second year in the National Hockey League. You see the Rookie of the Year last year in Colorado had a bit of a slump this year. Now he finishes the season on the IR after breaking his foot. Nate McKinnon. There's an issue back with Hudobin. He's still miffed. He's undressing now. What is going on?
Is this after the icing thing?
He's got a strap issue back there. So they'll give him time to fix it on his own, but if they can't, then you're going to have to make a goalie change here. Nobody really wants to do that, especially Cam Ward. There he is, speaking of guys that played their 500th. Another guy. All of them with the Carolina Hurricanes. Cam Ward, the MVP of their Stanley Cup win here. Seems like a long time ago for that franchise now. They've missed the playoffs 5 years in a row, soon to be 6. 8 of the last 9. But they do have one of those, as the Stars do. A Stanley Cup banner. Hudobin's basically got his paraphernalia back in order down at the other end so we can move along with this opening period. The Stars have a 2-1 lead, and they've earned it.
Face-off in the Dallas zone, tied up, and Fiddler wins it. Jason Demers to Colton Sevier, who pumps it ahead at center ice. It's gloved down, but right to Eves. He'll take it over against Eric Stahl. Patrick Eves tried to center it. That's blocked. Right point, it's Demers. Shooting, it scores! Jason Demers! And with Daly and Klingberg out, the Stars have 2 first-period goals from defensemen.
Today was the first day that Demers has been able to skate with the team. He's been buckled with a viral infection. And this one just sizzles from the blue line. The Stars on the entry are able to take control of things, and Hudobin, can't blame that one on his gear. Bunt this back out. It was a great play originally by Vern Fiddler to hold the blue line. It looked like he was going to go offside. Watch this. There's on the near bottom of your screen, stays onside. Eves drives through there. Ultimately, they get it to the point and wire it past the Carolina netminder.
Stars back in again after Demers fourth. Hemsky got it through. Hudobin the stop. Roussel slammed on the brakes right in front. Skinner worked it around to the far boards, only to be shouldered off that puck by a more determined Antoine Roussel. Murphy puts it around behind. Risselin out to center ice. Nash will backhand it in deep. Lindholm in pursuit, and that's tipped away. Skinner back of the net. Riley Nash had it waist high in the slot, couldn't direct it at the net.
Little bunt by Kari Lehtinen on the centering pass, fouled him up.
Spezza shooting it, saved Hudobin. He snuck that one through. And Skinner prowling through center. Fires it in off Jordy Ben. Stars have 3 goals on 10 first-period shots.
They've only given up 4 shots. They've owned this opening frame. They've outworked the Canes. They've spent very little time in their own zone.
Rask, the only goal scorer for the Canes, was in pursuit at the Dallas line. Justin Falk banking it his way at center. Rask will pick it up off the boards in front of the Dallas bench and go. The stick handle his way through and then into the slot for Sagan, who's unable to clear it. Falk from the line, shot it. Loose in front, Lehtinen reached out, but the puck is still away from him. And out of that pileup, Hainsey spins to find it. Doesn't see the net, so he gives it to Terry for a drive. That's blocked by Jordy Ben. Spit to the boards for Jamie Ben. And out off Falk into the Carolina zone.
That rebound got stuck in the skates of Patrick Nemeth right in front of the net.
Now giveaway to Sagan, but he's by himself. Waits for Demers, gave it to him. Demers took it back in the net. Sturdy Hainsey rammed him against the end boards. Falk leaning in there too with McKenzie, who bolts away. McKenzie tripped up by Hudobin's goal stick. McKenzie right back in there to jockey with Falk in the corner. Puck goes up in the air and into the seats with 1:31 remaining in the first period.
Well, Jason Demers did not play that game in Philadelphia because of illness and again was pretty much bedridden ever since that until today. Great look from the Phantom cam in behind of how that just billows the jersey on the arm of Khudobin. You can move, you can flinch all you want. You're late on that one. Just get it on net. So yeah, I mean, you get guys in different slots when others are out. And with all that offense on the blue line out, 2 of the 3 goals from defensemen here tonight.
So Lexiak trying for another, but Khudobin has this one in his sights.
Stars have been able to win pucks and then bunt back and utilize their D-man here in the opening period. Been good work. Lexiak, who has spent most of the season in the American Hockey League. And down there, he's a two-way defenseman. You know, it's a different level, different role down there. Up here, they want him primarily to concentrate on his defending more than anything else.
Off the face-off win, he puts it back at the net to the guy who won the draw, Vern Fiddler.
Just been a steady diet of that, huh? Just pump it in behind, go to work there, work their D, lean on their D, test their D, tug at the seams.
They're coming away with almost every loose puck. Now they pounce on another. Sevier dropped it to Fiddler. Shooting it, save Khudobin. No rebound for Sevier or Eves.
Yeah, I mean, they've just outworked them flat out. And it's not just one guy or 3 guys or a line. Sevier's refound his confidence, I think, more than anything else with the puck. And in the lineup here tonight, by the way, Ryan Garbett is the scratch here tonight. Lindy Ruff had a long conversation with him on the ice this morning. He hasn't scored since New Year's Eve. And it's sometimes just, give a guy the night off and he doesn't have to worry about the fact he hasn't scored. He was getting a lot of shots on net recently, but it seemed like it was just getting worse. So give him a night off, a little respite, see if he can refine it coming back in at some point.
Final minute of the first period. Alex Goligoski, who has scored, whipped it down all the way to Khudobin, and he'll send it up to center ice. Eric Stahl misses the puck at his own line. Hemsky shooting it in deep. Khudobin back at the net. Eric Stahl all the way around behind, and Alexander Semin gives it to Hainsey. A lot of room at center. He'll take it and shot it in. Jokipaka getting back for Dallas. Worked it ahead to Spezza. Now to Ben. Ben one-on-one with Hainsey at the line. And Stars are offside. Finally, the whistle comes with 13 seconds left in the period.
They try to test that decor once again. The Hurricanes have looked every bit the second worst team in the Eastern Conference here in the first period tonight. And this will be one of those nights where you have some forwards looking down at the decor at the other end of the bench with disbelief.
Jordy Ben at center, passing it in. Khudobin out back of his net, 5 left in the period. Now Ben centered it, that went off Seguin. That's in the right spot, maybe.
Good opening period, did exactly what they needed to do, and it was really set up by that trio again. They set a standard for the Stars. McKenzie, Horkoff, and Ritchie.
Stars go to work here in Carolina. 4th game of a 5-game trip. They've won 3 of their last 4 and continue to push ahead in the Western Conference. They outshoot the Canes 14-4 and get 3 to lead 3-1 over Carolina after 20 minutes from PNC Arena in Raleigh. Stars Hockey on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by Ford. It's Ford Truck Month at your best in Texas Ford dealer. Visit TexasFord.com for details. And by the Mazda 6, J.D. Power has awarded the Mazda 6 the highest-ranked vehicle appeal among mid-sized cars. Number 4 of 5 on the road against the East. We're in Raleigh, North Carolina. PNC Arena tonight. The Stars lead the Canes 3-1. And Lindy Ruff's got to like a lot of that first period, Razor, the way they got in and got after him.
Well, one of my notes from watching a few of the Canes games recently was that they can get hemmed in their own zone, and boy, did they ever in that first period. The Stars just swarmed them. They pestered and swarmed them with their forecheck. They outworked them. They out-hit them by a mile, too. They had the puck the whole period. and yet out-hit them 14-5. Scored virtually all 3 of their goals off heavy, lean on them, tenacious forechecking, and they just overwhelmed them. They didn't really have an answer for the Stars' pressure in that first 20 minutes.
Goals from Curtis McKenzie, Alex Goligoski, and Jason Demers for the Stars. Victor Rask started it all off, giving the Canes a 1-0 lead, and then the Stars responded. Here comes McKenzie, Horkoff, and Ritchie again toward the line. Riley Nash bunts it forward. Jeff Skinner puts it over, and Elias Lindholm is in pursuit with Patrick Nemeth. Nemeth lost the puck up the boards against the the referee blocked it, and Lindholm shot it wide. Here's Skinner fanning on it. It's poked ahead and turned out of the zone by Brett Ritchie. Murphy shooting it in, icing against Carolina.
Skinner was a little ticked thinking he'd get to that one, and as he went cruising in there, the crafty and sneaky little sniper that they have. Wanted that one, tried to use his wheels. Instead, they're going to have to go to their own zone and start where they've been very familiar and tied down in this game tonight, their own zone.
Skinner's been scoring a bit lately, 8 in his last 12. Shot from Goligoski, worked loose in front, and Eakin and Ben both in check. Seguin went after the puck in the corner. Murphy slipped it along, intercepted by Eakin, couldn't quite hit Ben.
And if you can't transition pucks out of your own zone, and oh my, that looked like a slew foot. Boy, Seguin went down in a heap, landed right on his number 91 on his back.
He's locked up there with Murphy. Seguin back up for the puck, and it goes in on Hudobin, who slides it to the near corner away from. They ticked off Tyler Seguin. Ben passing it towards Spezza. They're in mid-change here. Seguin has it back of the net. Centered it. Shot from Oleksiak off Hudobin's glove. Spezza in the corner. They're trying to work on him again here. Spezza unable to control it. Out to Semin at the Dallas line. And Oleksiak taking it under control, backhanding it into the Canes bench.
Well, like I was saying, if you can't transition pucks, you get yourself in all kinds of trouble in your own zone. And Murphy gets hounded by Seguin. Watch this. Seguin tries to lean on him a little bit. Bam! It's WWE. Both of them ended up clacking their name bars. You can see the wincing of Tyler Seguin on the Stars bench right now.
So the face-off in the Dallas zone. Spezza's out there for the Stars. He's their best face-off guy at 54%. Ben is at Seguin's at 53%. And the other 3 center icemen at 51, guys who take draws. Nestor Schill put it back of the net. Roussel bursting after the puck, took the hit. Rask works it over. Hainsey's shot went wide. And it's flipped ahead toward Roussel. He's got a step and lost the puck at the line. Stars are offside.
That puck didn't keep up to Antoine Roussel. He's getting a wonderful opportunity on the left side with Jason Spezza. And I asked him about it this morning. He says he's hoping that it can stay that way. Obviously understands they're going to have to play well and produce in order for it to happen. But he's a straight line guy. Go to the net. Be ready for Spezza's passes. He's one of the best passers in the league. And be responsible defensively is the other part of it. If they get together and it doesn't work and they get scored on, they're going to get broken up.
Fiddler wins the faceoff at center ice. Patrick Nemeth, full control of the puck. Gunned it in over the top of the net. And Dwyer bumps it ahead to center ice. McClement was in pursuit, and a whistle.
There's going to be a penalty.
I think so, against Dallas.
Jordy Ben.
Okay.
On the way back up the ice. And, the one way you're going to be able to pump some life into the Hurricanes here tonight would be with penalties. They have a very good power play. It's been hot lately. A little too busy with it in neutral ice that time as they tried to get in. So, the guy we just talked about moments ago, Skinner's a dangerous guy in this scenario. Semin's on a point. At least they like to run him there from time to time, although he hasn't spun a wheel in the game. They could be susceptible to a shorty as well.
Roussel trying to jump out of there right away. Justin Falk will go get it. Eric Stahl has 7 power play goals. Justin Falk has 6. And the Canes are 8th on the power play and 3rd on the penalty kill. It's almost crazy for a team that far out of it. Falk shoots it in, back of the net. Kari Lehtinen along the boards. Antoine Roussel. Estrashel reaching in. Eric Stahl tripped up, and Goligoski fires it down. Hudobin slides out.
Well, I think some of that underscores just the importance of being a good team 5-on-5, and that's what bothers the Stars coaching staff so much. They've been one of the best 5-on-5 teams in the league this year as far as chances are concerned, and a lot of their plus-minus, especially in second periods. And yet they're looking on the outside of the playoff picture right now.
Stars interplay tonight, 8 points back of the second wild card. However, they have to hop 4 teams. It's not the 8 points so much. That's all the hopping they got to do. Semin hands it back to Falk. Along to Semin, in front, deflects away from Skinner. Murphy across the ice. Semin hands it back up. Falk passes over. Skinner ripped it wide.
That happened in a hurry because of that quick pass by Falk up top.
Ben with a steal. He's got Murphy to beat. Ben tried to spin away from him, and Murphy takes the man. Hudobin takes the puck.
That was just looked like a fatigue play all around. I think their guys were tired. Ben might have been a little bit fatigued. That chance at the other end. Semin picks it up. Watch how quickly, boom. Knows what he wants to do before he gets the puck. Is Falk up top, and Skinner misses by just a few inches on the glove hand side of Kari Lehtinen, right in the slot area. That's his best asset. He's one of those guys that the puck just finds him, and he has what I call loose puck speed. If there's a loose puck, he has tons of speed to get there and get it.
Canes win the faceoff in their own zone. 20 seconds remaining on the power play.
Good penalty kill again, which is becoming a redundancy for the Stars right now.
They've been really trending upward. Dallas' penalty killers have 15 out of the last 16, last half dozen games, and about as good as that going back even further.
Well, a lot of pride taken in it. The guys that kill, they win a lot of face-offs, and they get the puck down the ice quite a bit, so they get fresh players on the ice repeatedly.
Rask peppering one in at the end of the power play, save Kari Lehtinen. And again, this is a very hot and good power play, and the Stars didn't give him a sniff. Lindholm takes the pass at center ice. And then stepping up is Jokipakka to make the hit on Eric Stahl.
Stahl gave him a look, the hairy eyeball out of the corner of his eyes, but...
What do you think you're doing, kid?
It's a full contact league.
Still is. Eaves going in there back of the net, leaving it for Sevier, trying to step out with the puck, banking it to Alexiak at the left point. People in front, he shot it. Hudobin got a piece of it with his pad, and Fiddler beats Murphy to it in the corner.
Same thing over and over again. Rissanen just got beat on the initial entry.
Sevier tried to step away from him. McClement takes the puck back of his net. Eaves chasing him round, and it's bunted out to center ice. Gerby's after the puck. Alexiak put it over. Eaves hit Eakin, who was over the line, offside. Second annual Black Diamond Alumni Game is Sunday. The fun starts at 3:15 on the AT&T Plaza. I'll be there to host a Q&A with 5 former players. You get autographs from the NHL alum. Then see the Stars take on the Blues at 5 with the Alumni Game following. 1 ticket gets you to all of it. Make plans now to come early, and we'll see you there.
Jamie Benn comes into tonight's contest against the Canes, tied for the team lead in goals on the road. Matches his number on his back. He and Sagan both with 14. The drop-off from there is to Spezza with 9. And they've been very productive and are again here tonight, road team.
Stars leading 3-1 early in the second period. Semin is in and onside. Semin backhander to save Lehtinen.
Well, he was barely onside.
Now they center it for Eric Stahl, and he shot it wide. Lehtinen might have got a tick of that with his glove. Semin locked up with Nemeth in the corner. Eric Stahl, as the Canes try and find a little spark here. Jordan Stahl right there with his brother. Semin stood up by Nemeth. And the Stars crank it down the ice. It's be icing against Dallas.
Well, you're not going to afford the opposition a better chance than that. And Semin did a little bit of himself by just bucking the Stars at the blue line and walking in. And both defensemen were caught up in neutral ice. He just, excuse me, I'd like to walk in on your netminder. And An artful blocker save as Ben couldn't match Semin at the blue line. And Kari Lehtinen, just as he did in Philadelphia the other night, comes to the rescue.
Shot from Lindholm got through, and Lehtinen made the stop.
That didn't just hit him. I don't think he saw it leave the stick of Lindholm.
Jordan creeping into the corner. Jordy Ben puts the seatbelt on him. Seguin got it up to Eakin, and now out to Ben. He's got Seguin with him at the line. Ben charging in. Ben, a shot, save Hudobin, and the rebound bounced away from him. Now it's pressed loose off Skinner and in. Lehtinen going back of his net, teeing it up for Alex Goligoski. Stars deliberate attack. Hemsky at center. Rissanen stepped up. He shot it in. And Hudobin gave it to Murphy. Sort of a panic move up the wall. Jokipakka over skates. Hemsky knocking it into the corner. Jockeying with Murphy. And back to the net, it's Rissanen. Young Finn up ahead. Lindholm, young Swede, shoots it in. Rask upended. And around the boards it goes. Hemsky pushed it out. Roussel in there pestering, and Dallas will get 5 fresh horses off the bench.
You know how slow the Canes are to go back and get it, though, and get up. They would have had a free out there. Instead, they wait for the Stars to get their change in and get set up.
Horkoff and the kids up for the Stars. Ritchie makes the catch, takes the line. McKenzie tried to stay on side. He could not. 12:19 to play in the second period. The offense has done its job. So has Kari Lehtinen, keeping the Stars up 3-1 in Carolina.
3-1 Stars here in Raleigh. Kari Lehtinen has 22 decisions on the road. He only has 5 regulation losses mixed in there. And he came up with one of those saves you have to have, whether at home or on the road. I wish the game was this slow when I played it. Our Phantom Cam shows him stoning Semin one-on-one on a turnover in neutral ice. Walked in. Again, this is his 500th NHL game. I'm shocked that only 65 guys have played that many. 204 with Atlanta, and this is his 296th with the Dallas Stars. He had 14 shutouts with the Atlanta Thrashers. That might be the most amazing statistic that Kari has in his career right now. That many whitewashes? Are you kidding me? With an expansion team essentially, and not exactly the late 90s Dallas Stars defense in front of him.
No. You know, he's been pulled a couple of times, but in his last 9 decisions, his record is 6-1-2. They had that at home, let me know. 18-7-5 since December 6th for Kari Lehtinen. They've scored a little bit more for him this year than they've had to in the past, some of it. And here's Semin again, who he turned back just a couple of minutes ago. Hainsey trucks it all the way into Dallas ice. Another bad bounce off the glass. Semin went on top. Eric Stahl back to Semin, and Fiddler took it away. Scooped it around the boards. Jordan Stahl loping after it. Back of the net, too hot for Eric Stahl. And Vern Fiddler chipping it off the glass to center. Falk tangled with Patrick Eaves. Puck goes in deep. Here's Sevier rolling it in front, but nobody home. Falk will bring it up. He leads the Canes in scoring, coming into the game with 44 points, a defenseman.
This is an important time in the game, I think, right now. The Stars have this club on the ropes.
Seguin shooting. That's blocked. Ben following up. Ben firing off the side of the net. Eakin toward Nemeth. I think this crew wanted to expand the lead here. Seguin punched it toward the high slot, and Jordy Ben now has to defend Gerby. He did, slowing the puck. Seguin in, shot Ben, save Hudobin, rebound, and Seguin couldn't stash.
Wow, what a stop that was. Fancy legs.
Patrick Dwyer hustling in, shot it. Lehtinen kicked it right up the slot, but got a little help from Roussel.
Thank God Goligoski had McClement right to the net front.
To the line, Rissanen toward Dwyer. Jokipaka sealed up back of the net. Gerby trying to attack. Lettinen went charging after the puck, and now it's in the corner. Out of the pile-up, Roussel takes the hit from Dwyer. Goligoski in there too, and Seguin at the end of his shift will lift it out and go to the bench. Murphy from outside the line punches it in. Midway through the game, shots are 19-8 Dallas. Hemsky along to Spezza. Spezza pulls up and then shot it, but it ricochets away. Rissanen racing after the puck. Demers got there to cut him off. That's almost took a penalty. And shoots it up. Hemsky into the Carolina zone from McKenzie to Alexiak to Hemsky. Save Hudobin. I don't know if he ever got the shot off. Hemsky had 7 shots in Philadelphia the other night without result.
Yeah, his only goal of the last month was that overtime winner when we were in New York.
Now the Stars catch him in a bad change. Spezza coming in. Spezza shot, save Hudobin, and he covers up.
It's opened up. He can't believe it.
Stars with some great looks to expand their lead, but Anton Hudobin keeps it 3-1 Dallas midway through the game in Raleigh.
Hudobin managing to keep the Hurricanes in this as the Stars attack in waves in the midway point of the game. Stars able to turn the puck over in neutral ice. Good play by Jordy Ben, turn it back up the other way, and in succession, Seguin drop pass, rebound opportunity in tight. Boy, that's just a nice reflexive save in tight as all of the Hurricanes get puck focused, and Tyler Seguin gets that brilliant chance. No forwards coming back to help out on this one. 3-on-2, and they twist it wide.
Stars hunting a puck at center ice, and Semin tapped it back to Jordan Staal. Justin Falk, from whom all things roll for the Canes, up to Jordan Staal at the line. Stopped as he walked into Jordy Ben. Back of the net, Sean Horcoff.
Could be a penalty on Horcoff behind the net.
Wow.
I'm with you, Sean. He makes the skate off, and the Canes go back on the power play. And again, this is it just feels like a dangerous portion of the game. The Stars have had their boot on the Canes' throat, but a little pushback from them here. They had the chance with Semin. They had a chance right after that. Stars couldn't twist one past at the other end. Now they're down a man again, and this is a potentially lethal power play they can trot out against you.
5 for 9 their last 2 games. They have 4 multi-power play goal games in their last 8. Stars win the face-off. Goligoski sends them down the ice.
Yeah, that's what they've done. I mean, repeatedly, too. They win. It's one and done for opposing power plays for the most part, and they rarely start with the puck.
Up comes Falk to center. Just winning that face-off, 20 seconds off the clock. Because now they get in and get set up. Rask to the line. Falk kept it in with his feet, and then it's forced out of there by Vern Fiddler. Shot in by Victor Rask. Lettinen stops it back at the net. Goligoski pumps it, and that one passed 3 Canes and out.
Kind of a young player's play there from Rask, the rookie. He had no pressure on him. He winds a rolling puck in. It was easily cut off and sent down the ice by the Stars.
Falk pestered at center ice by Cody Eakin. Lindholm hands it on. And into the slot for Lindholm to Semin. Missed the puck. Ben chipped it away. Here come the Stars. 3-on-3 at the line. Ben shorthanded, taking the slot. Ben forced out toward the line. And then protecting the puck along the boards. Ben stripping Semin again. Ben turning away from Lindholm. Now he wants to eat it along the far board side.
A one-man penalty kill.
3 Canes and Jamie Benn. Finally, they get it out of there. 35 left on the power play. Jordan Staal gave it up. Colton Sevier chasing Jason Demers clear. And now he'll keep Murphy at bay. Pass out toward Eves.
Boy, not a ton of effort from their top guys tonight. You saw Semin go in, easily get dispossessed of the puck. Staal comes in, same thing.
Goligoski tries to flip it up. Eves will send it out, and that should just about do it. It will do it.
Some booze raining down from the seats here at PNC.
McClement from outside the line. Stars are back at full strength, so they're 2 for 2 on the kill as Skinner puts it back of the net. To the line, Hainsey's shot tipped just wide.
Wow.
Olegoski lifts it out off Belmore. Hainsey up the middle of the ice. Hurricanes on the move. Dwyer shooting, blocked by Jokipaka. Nash put it back of the net. And Ritchie tried to go forward with the puck. Horkoff sends it back. And at center ice, it's Curtis McKenzie.
One of the things I love about the Stars, you watch, as soon as they get possession or win possession in their own zone and they start in transition up the ice, they're full gallops. Every guy on the ice just hits the gas. Away they go.
Jordy Ben, that hit Roussel in the glove so the play stays onside and without icing.
A tough pass, though. Eye high.
Very hard. It was well handled, actually. Hemsky to Roussel at the line. Down the boards to Ales Hemsky. Trying to pivot away in the corner. Spezza trailing the play. Out to the line for Jordy Ben. Snaps it over, and Nemeth's shot is blocked. He's racing for the puck, and he keeps Rask away.
Just too big for him.
When size really matters. Ben, Hemsky shooting off Hudobin.
Where they're getting all they want off the rush right now.
Stars have it again. Shot from Demers went wide. He's already scored in the game. Ben stripping it. Eakin walking in, and he doesn't get the shot off neatly, and then finally at the net, but his stick is broken, and Hudobin makes the stop. Rask back to the Dallas line. Nestrachel puts it in deep. And then trying to fidget it away along the boards. Out to Falk. Has a look. Shot it. Block. Rebound. Doesn't get through. Lettman was in trouble there. Back out to Falk, who pumps it. That's blocked in front by Oleksiak. Nestrachel gives it away, and out comes Eakin to center ice. Tried to chip it and go, but it went. Thrown back toward the Dallas line, bumped ahead to Eaves. Here come the Stars into the zone. Fiddler trying to bust a backhand shot as a man was crashing to the net. It was Sevier.
That all started with Colton Sevier knocking that puck out of midair in neutral ice and then barreling to the net. Good work.
Sevier to Jokipaka. Had to fight to keep the puck in the zone. Sevier against Hainsey, twisting and turning out to Jokipaka. Shot it, tipped twice. Fiddler looking forward in front, and then it's played to the wall. Carolina on the move again. There's Semin with the pass ahead. Jordanstall shooting, blocked over the top of the net. Lettman took a swipe at it when the puck was loose at the side. And McKenzie away from Semin.
That's nice work. There's layers to the defending. It's a winger all the way back in front of his own net to win that puck.
Eric Stahl chased around at center ice. And the Stars now in full possession in their own zone with 3.5 left in the second period. McKenzie trying to get away from Brett Belmore. Jordan up to Nash. Dallas line there offside. 3:24 remaining in the second period. Canes haven't had much, but when they've threatened, Kari Lettman has made the stop or gotten a kind bounce. 3-1 Dallas.
Such vivacity in the Stars game, individual and as a group. Watch them pour off the bench. That's Colton Sevier. Comes into the middle. They try to stretch the Stars out, pick it out of midair, and look at them go in transition immediately. Pick the feet up, put them down, drive the net, throw it into the middle. They come close. Sevier almost on the business end of that. He's had a terrific road trip, and he's not alone.
The 3 assists in his last 2 games. Had the shootout winner in Florida. Curtis McKenzie. He scored in the first period. Brett Ritchie throwing his body in there against Murphy. Bristolin got it ahead. Stars chasing here. In front, Lindholm alone, and a save Lettman.
2 of those this period. Nemeth got caught that time. Up ice at the attack blue line. Whoopsie daisy.
Jordy Ben to Sean Horkoff. Back to Jordy Ben. It trickles in on Hudobin.
You know, it's not as if the Stars have been lead pipe locked down defensively. They've been good, but they've given this up 2 games in a row in second periods. Odd man rushes. Change the point of attack. Good chance on a hot scorer. too. That's a nice play by Skinner on the way in. Horkoff frantically trying to get back, and Lindholm, who recently registered a hat trick, gets denied by the Big Fin again. So he gets Lindholm there. He got the big Russian earlier. You survive your mistakes with that kind of goaltending.
Yep. The lead stays 3-1. Jokipaka passing ahead. That's picked off. McClement pursuing Jordan's shoot in. Pile up a 4 in the corner. Jokipaka goes back to the net. McClement looked at Dwyer, then goes out to the line. Belmore's shot. Blocked, eaten up. Spezza out to center ice for Roussel. He slows it and gives to Goligoski. Into the corner. In front, he had Spezza cutting to the net. It went away, and out comes Gerby to the Dallas line. Speeding his way in, trying to go inside, but he couldn't against Alexiak, who rubs him out along the far boards. Dwyer stashing it deep. McClement back to the net. Hacked on over to Gerby. McClement's pass out of the zone.
You know, 2-goal lead late in the second period. This is the time when the Stars should always have numbers back, should always be loading on the right side of the puck. No odd man rushes against, no people in behind.
Alexiak deep to get this puck. Slid it past Semin, and Falk was unable to hold the zone. Eakin across the ice to Tyler Seguin. Jason Demers legs it forward, flips it on into the corner. Ben going after Falk. He leaves it for Hainsey. Right to Nemeth, who shot it, missed it, and then dumped it into the corner. Hainsey up the boards for Eric Stahl. Canes are in on the attack. Jordan Stahl. Seguin caught him, and then Eakin lost it. Shot from Jordan, shot from Eric, 2 saves from Lettinen.
Everything good right up to the point where Cody Eakin was on the puck, and he's not heavy enough on it. They give up bang, bang. Good tracking by Seguin to come back and help out on that play initially.
Murphy shoots it in, final minute of the second. Jordy Ben, angling left to center, fired it in over Murphy's stick, but from his own side of the red center line, it's icing.
You know, Lindy Ruff is very pragmatic when he approaches the way the games go in the league right now. Mistakes are going to be made, and he's said that since the get-go in Dallas, and you've seen some mistakes be made here tonight. Doesn't want to dwell on them. And the optimum performance for a full 60 minutes seems just unattainable to him right now in this league. The games have pushes and swells within them. It's how you weather those and how you execute that matters. And you see the Stars are going to take their time out here now with some Tucker guys on the ice and a 2-goal lead. Don't turn this into a 1-goal lead in the final minute after the icing. Just settle down, talk about your responsibilities, and get out of this period with your 2-goal lead intact. You know, you're not going to give up more golden opportunities to the other side than a breakaway in a 2-on-1 like that with a couple of their top offensive players. But you survived it because Kari made 2 saves. And, you know, there have been times this year, maybe too many times, where they didn't get that save. And especially at home, they seem to get it more on the road than at home for whatever reason. So they don't feel that bad about themselves. It could be a tie game right now, although they've outplayed the Carolina Hurricanes by a mile here tonight.
17 of their 30 wins have come on the road. 2 of them on this trip so far. They'll finish it tomorrow night in Washington against the Caps. Victor Rask and Cody Eakin off the timeout. Takari Lettinen's left. Rask wins it. Shot from Falk. He rifled it, but wide.
Little pick by Terry on the inside there on Jamie Benn. Allowed them to get that bid toward the net.
Final 35 of the period. Rask easing it over. He's got the lone Carolina goal. Jordy Ben hemmed in, centering pass. Terry was there.
Needed that second guy there immediately to help Jordy Ben in the corner on that puck. That was close.
Tyler Seguin going in deep after the puck. Hainsey protected it. And Rask shot it. Blocked. Sevier with 10 left in the frame. Ahead to the Carolina line. Sevier threads it through. Shot from Eaves, and Hudobin got enough of it and then jumped back to jump on it.
We've seen a ton of scoring opportunities here late in the period. You understand it from the Carolina standpoint, they're behind by a couple. Stars get this out of transition. So Jordy does the right thing, goes back against the grain, but he gets pounded. You cannot give up that interior position like they did, though, in front of the net. I think Nemeth was anticipating he was going to get a D-to-D pass. Just whip it on net. Khudobin, who's been very good in the second period, gets enough of that, finds it over the shoulder on that quick release from Eves, and he's great at that.
Final 5 seconds here. Face off to Khudobin's left. Jason Spezza goes to one knee. Sevier tried to bump it to the point. Skinner was there, and so the period expires.
Had everything set up for a face-off win and rotate it to Sagan out in front. Good period from the netminders.
Kari Lehtinen is perfect on 7 shots. Anton Khudobin is perfect on 10. All the damage done in the first period. Stars lead it 3-1. Sean Horcoff, part of the offense. His line playing well, and he'll visit with Razor at the break. Hockey on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by Ford. It's Ford Truck, but your best in Texas Ford dealer. Visit texasford.com for details. And by Southwest Airlines, book your low fare now at southwest.com. Stars lead Carolina 3-1 heading to the third period. We're on the road. Travelocity wants to send you on the road to see the Stars play in San Jose on April 6th. 2 round-trip flights, 1 night's hotel stay, and 2 tickets to see the Stars take on the Sharks in the Tank. Enter today at dallasstars.com/Travelocity. Razor, it's the 5th time in the last 10 games the Stars have carried a lead to the third period. They lost all 4 other games in which they led after 40 minutes, so there's still some of this third period cleaning up they need to concentrate on.
That's true. I don't know that the Hurricanes pose the same threat that some of the others did. Kari looks like he's sharp tonight. They need to get back to the way they went about their business in the first period, though. As Sean Horcoff said between periods, they got a little loose.
Good penalty killing. They're 2 for 2. And again, Kari Lehtinen has stopped 10 of 11. Low shot total, but some high-quality chances in that grouping. Alexander Semin up ahead. Jordan Staal to Eric Staal at center ice. The defenseman Hainsey jumping to join, gave it back into the slot. Eric Staal crushed to the boards. Jordan walked it out to the line, and Horcoff forced him out. Hainsey from his own line. Passing ahead, off Semin's stick, and in behind Letnin's net. Nemeth leaving it for Jordy Ben. And that one ricochets off a skate. Kari held it long enough for the whistle.
Tried a little reverse in behind the net in that top line that's had some moments in the game, but for the most part it's been outworked by the Stars. Had a dangerous little look for a second. Well, you don't give any more up, you win the hockey game. That has to be the thought process of the Stars here in the third period. Defend well.
Then Dallas plays tomorrow night in Washington. End up the trip. Sagan went out to challenge at the line. That sort of fouled up the Canes. Goligoski batting it up the boards. And McClellan bumped off the puck by Jamie Benn. Sagan will take it over. Eakin over his right shoulder. Sagan holding the puck, drawing a crowd, slipping it back of the net. Risson into the boards. Right to Sagan. Threw it in front. Flicked away from Benn. Goligoski shot it into the corner. Eakin dumped under Murphy. Stars have not had a power play in the game. The Canes have had 2.
It's kind of the way the league is right now.
Jokipaka tried to shoot that puck. It was partially blocked. And there's a penalty.
It's gritty work by Tyler Sagan to go after it, but I think he just slipped and fell down, to be honest with you. But when you're in single-digit games in the league, Rissanen's going to go down. Looks over, down went Sagan. The 2 of them after it, so they get their power play here. Not a popular call in the house, as they say.
Stars were 0 for 3 in Philly, 6 power play goals in their previous 10 games.
These guys have been leaky lately with their penalty kill. It's been fabulous most of the season, but they've moved out some of their better veteran defensemen that are key to their penalty kill, and they've been touched up lately.
Now they're tied for third still, hanging on to a top 5 spot. Demers in the corner, shuffles it back out to Jordy Ben. Worked it along to Hemsky. Chopped it deep. It's intercepted and finally cleared by Falk.
Well, here's the deal with their penalty kill. They've given up 5 power play goals in the last 2 games. They allowed 5 power play goals in the previous 35 games. Ouch.
Yeah. So the personnel that made a bit of a difference.
It's a golden opportunity for the Stars if they can cash in here, though, to really take full control of this game again.
Patrick Dwyer bragging some time, shooting it in, and Dallas getting their first unit out there, minus John Klingberg, who out tonight with the injury he suffered. Ronaldo's 80-foot hit the other night. Ben takes it in, lost the puck at the line. Seguin backing him up at center. Spezza will try it down the boards. Firing it, save Hudobin.
Swallows that one from some distance. Jason Spezza is usually very good at what I call wetting the sugar. Wait, set people up. That time just comes in and tries to drive it straight through the Kane netminder. Yeah, I mean, your set's going to be a little bit different. The Stars' power play really found its stride when they moved Klingberg onto the top unit. Patrick Eaves got healthy again as that middle release guy. So instead of Klingberg, it's his partner, his usual partner, Goligoski, that gets that spot.
He's got the puck from Spezza. Shooting it, save Hudobin right to Seguin in the far circle. Twists away from Falk, gets it back from Eaves, goes out to Goligoski on top. Back to Seguin. He shoots it. Tipped up high. Spezza let it go to the line for Goligoski. Moved it away from Rask to Eaves. Shoving it to Spezza, back out to Goligoski, down to Seguin at the side of the net. He's forced to the boards by Falk. Hainsey has it locked up in the corner. Eaves went to challenge, but they clear.
Pretty good aggressive penalty killing. As soon as they see a guy, even a shoulder turned toward the boards, they go. They enforce.
5 seconds remaining on the power play. Fiddler deep into the corner. Jordan gave him a bump. Jordan Staal reached after it. And Ristolainen goes to the bench. Canes are back at full strength. Demers up through center ice. Jordan Staal cut it off. On the wing to Eric Staal. Pulling up against Alexiak. Across the ice to Terry. He'll take it in deep and fire it. That's blocked. Off Sevier to McKenzie, who tries to chip it and go. He gets away from Belmore. Deep into the corner, though. Dodging the hit and then tried a centering pass. Eric Staal took it away from Sean Horkoff. Ran right into Colton Sevier. There's McKenzie again, firing over the top of the net. Jordy Ben on his backhand. Followed by Jordan Staal. Put it around for McKenzie. Sevier coming in to join, and McKenzie tripped up in the corner. Jordan Staal gets the pass and then shot it back, and Jordan whipped it wide of the net.
His nickname has to be Nike, right? Or his airness. Please tell me they call him that.
Mikhail Jordan.
Basically, though, when you look at it spelled, it looks like Michael Jordan.
Michaljordan. When he bounces in.
Players haven't lost that completely, have they?
You wouldn't think.
I hope not.
Boy, that would be tragic. Here's Seguin maneuvering through. Eakin tackled in the slot. Ben back of the net. Arguing with Falk for the puck. Eakin on top. Goligoski shot the stick right out of Semon's hand, and he keeps in a clearing attempt at the line to pump it in deep.
Semon's been moved off their top line. I'm sure that's not the first time that's happened. The Stahls and Semon started the game together, and he had that chance in the second period. Got stoned by Kari Lehtinen on the breakaway. They haven't had much in the game, though.
Again, he just has the 4 goals this season, and 12 times this year held without a shot. Here comes Gerby. Into the slot, intercepted by Spezza. Heaving it in for a race. Hemsky going in, digging deep for the puck. Ristolainen holds him off. Dwyer gave it away to Roussel. Along the boards, it's Spezza. Out to the line for Alexiak. His shot blocked in the high slot, and Hemsky shouldering, trying to get away. Ristolainen forces the puck out.
A little back buck from Ales Hemsky there. You can see the Stars coming back with multiple forwards in their own zone to help out, and when they get it into the attacking end, work the outside. Get it in behind this defense and go from there.
There's Jordan to the Dallas line, firing it in. Demers took it away from Riley Nash. Jordy Ben pursued by Skinner. Nice little curl loop in his own zone and then flipped it out to Eves, whose shoot-in goes over the Carolina bench. 13:45 left in the third. 3-1 Dallas in Carolina.
Haven't seen a goal scored for about a half an hour of play here tonight in Raleigh. All the scoring back in the first period. 3-1 Stars as promised. It's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. The Canes actually opened the scoring early, about 4 minutes in. Big rebound after a face-off loss in their own zone. Rask cashed in, and then the Stars with 3 in a row. And that line, Horcoff, McKenzie, and Ritchie, generating a lot. McKenzie on the back door ties it. They outchanged the Canes. Again, it was McKenzie and Horcoff and Ritchie that initially had them pinned in their own zone. The beneficiary of all that was Goligoski, and then Demers on a seeing eye shot from the blue line. Sailed on the short side past a screen Hudobin, I guess. And that was it. So Stars had a 3-1 lead. The goalies were perfect in the second period. We've moved on to the third.
Demers had a career-high 5 goals and 34 points last season. That was his 4th goal, 21st point of this campaign.
Another puck up into the bench of the Hurricanes over there. Their coaching staff diving away.
Same guy.
Steve Smith and Bill Peters. They've seen a lot of this season here. He looks just like John Wayne, a young John Wayne. Does he not?
Yes, he does. Yeah. Yes, he does. Quite the defenseman for your old Oilers.
Yeah.
Part of the glory days. Jordy Ben up ahead. Fiddler had to stretch out to find it. Takes the line. Gave it to Sevier. A shot save. Hudobin rebound in the slot. And Semin bunts it to himself. He's back out here with Eric and Jordan Stahl. Eric didn't like what he saw. And they'll wind it up again. Alexander Semin trying to find a lane through which to shoot. Jordan Stahl fired it wide on the pass. Jordan swung it in around. Nemeth off to the left of his net. Moved it up. Belmore holding the zone for Carolina.
They're just so perimeter. You can see, Semin comes in. He's on the perimeter. Stahl's on the far side on the perimeter. There's nobody willing or able to take it to the net.
Nemeth hoisting it out. Jordan took his eye off the puck, but here he comes.
Stars have only given up 11 shots in the game. Not that the Canes haven't had some pretty good scoring chances, but the volume has not been there.
Ritchie up ahead to McKenzie. Shot it in. Save Hudobin. And McKenzie's going after the puck.
Boy, he's been good tonight. Really good.
McKenzie.
Look at him work.
And Ritchie. And Spets is in front of the net. Finally broken up. Rask up ahead. Estrachel threw it in, and Lettman makes the catch. Tonight on Fox Sports Live on Fox Sports 1, 10 other games across the NHL. Will we see a shakeup in the Western Conference standings? DeMarco Murray is leaving the Cowboys for another team in the NFC East. I think I know who that is. Who do the Cowboys have in mind for his replacement? And LeBron James returns to San Antonio for the first time since losing the NBA Finals. That's tonight on Fox Sports Live on Fox Sports 1.
Bill Peters comes right back with this offensive zone face-off with the Stahl brothers and Semin.
Jordan Stahl digging in, but the Stars, a gamer, and Cody Eakin wins another face-off. Demers tried to get it out. Semin held it in. And Sagan overtakes him.
Look at the hustle of Tyler Sagan coming back. That wins games.
Says he's not at 100%. He won't be at 100% for the rest of the season. But he gives more than that, as the old cliche goes. It's true.
Well, he's not alone. Close to game 70 at not being at 100%. There's a lot of guys around the league that are dealing with bumps and bruises. His more significant than most, though.
Goligoski, nobody was in front, so he defers to Jokipaka, who shot it. Hudobin kicked it out. Beacon was jousting in front with Murphy, who goes back to the net.
Look at Roussel off the bench and after them.
Just barreling in there. Now he's chasing Gerby around the net. Little Nathan Gerby speeding ahead to the Dallas line. Shot it in. Gloved ahead to Hemsky, but not out. Jordan Stahl. Right to Jokipaka. Goligoski out to center ice. Roussel clacking with Hainsey. Hemsky chipping it toward himself, and then a diving recovery from Falk. Ales Hemsky back of the net around the boards. Nemeth passed it off. Roussel cut to the front of the net, and the Canes clear it, but it's tipped, so there's no icing. Under 11 to play in the third period. Canes don't have a shot in the frame. Trailing 3-1. Eaves tipped it on to Sevier. Got Terry on his back. He swivels and fires, and that's hits the skate in front. Good hustle again by Eaves to tap it out to Nemeth, who whipped it around the boards.
Been an effective line tonight, too. Great hustle. Straight lines toward the puck, all over the ice.
Fiddler, Eaves, and Colton Sevier. There's Vern throwing it in. Nemeth, a little beefier along the wall.
Boy, McKenzie could have ended Terry right on the logo at center ice. He came off the bench. Terry, the forward for the Canes, did not see him. He laid off him a little bit.
Rask snapped it on in. McKenzie chipped it out. There goes Ritchie. Trying to get a step. Ritchie barreling in. Ritchie couldn't pull it to the forehand. Jordan chased him. McKenzie now back of the net. First man to the puck. Fending off Riley Nash. McKenzie to Ritchie. Ritchie collecting it away from Nash. They're just hungrier on these pucks. Horkoff to Ritchie along the boards. Back of the net to McKenzie. Trying to slip Jordan. They threw it off the back of the net. Goes after it. Crammed it, and a save Hudobin.
What a shift again. Number 11 started in his own zone. Real smart play out of his own end to spring Ritchie, and then all that gritty work in the attacking zone.
Nash turns it over at the Dallas line. Here comes Cody Eakin. Eakin in front to Ben, and he couldn't quite get it off. Diving back there was Skinner to help out. Ben and Skinner in the corner. Ben keeping Skinner at arm's length. Left it at the line for Jokipaka. Deep for Eakin. Ben took it away from Risselin. And then passed it on to Sagan. Chased out to the line, dumps it into the corner for Eakin. Back of the net, it's Ben. Ben looking at Sagan. Well covered by Murphy. Out to the line for Goligoski. Stars really owning the puck here. Goligoski tipped in front, they score! Sagan and Eakin were loitering in front. Puck bounced, and it's a 4-1 Dallas lead.
I think it might be Cody Eakin. This is cycle side from the Stars. Just terrific. You know, they don't usually get that much cycle, that line, but they had a brilliant one there. Starts with this. Look at that little take the pressure, chip it out, Ritchie on the rush. Can't quite get it onto the forehand where he can pull the trigger. They had a great shift in there, and it's followed up by the Eakin Sagan Ben line, and they just cycled and cycled and cycled and challenged the Hurricanes' defensive zone coverage. Finally work it back. There's Eakin in the slot. Comes back toward the net, whether it went off his stick or the rookie defenseman Rissanen. It went past Hudobin, and the Stars have their 3-goal lead.
Puck is in the Dallas bench and out of play at center ice. So that's called a goal from the Dallas Stars team. Every shift, one following the other, keeping the pressure on in the Carolina zone, and the Stars with 8:12 to play are up 4-1.
This is our spotlight tonight, and Cody Eakin has given the Stars the 4-1 lead here now. Was a healthy scratch in Philadelphia, just a deft tip of a wrister from Goligoski. Great look from our Phantom Cam. Has Hudobin moving completely in the wrong direction. Reflexes aren't going to catch up to that one. This has basically been determined versus feeble. I mean, how many block shots have the Hurricanes had? They spent the entire game in their own zone. They must have, you could count them on one hand maybe.
Not too many. Stars have been all over them. They're coming again. Spezza cutting inside against Hainsey, and it's brushed aside. Eric Stahl fighting the puck. Hemsky attacked him. Falk ripped it over. And Hainsey shoots it all the way in. No icing here. So Eakin with a goal and an assist in the game tonight. Goligoski has a goal and an assist in the game tonight. Other goal scorers are Jason Demers and Curtis McKenzie for Dallas. Victor Rask has the lone marker for Carolina. Eaves bottled up in his own zone. Gets help from Fiddler. Another guy in there, and he'll just shove it out. Jordan back in his own zone. Belmore making the turn from center ice, backhands it in. Lehtinen back of his net. The Canes still don't have a shot in the third period. 7:05 remaining in it. Demers all the way out. Sevier bumps it across the line. Eves giving chase. Belmore forced to play it into the corner. Eves going after the puck, and he strips Dwyer there. Belmore took a hit from Ritchie. Good one. Jordan reversing the puck. Belmore has to go get it again.
I mean, it's tough to play at this level when you can't transition pucks out of your own zone, and Stars haven't allowed it, and they have not been very good at it.
Jokipaka tangling with McClement. Dwyer brushing it out toward the line. Murphy stepping away from McKenzie. Shot it back of the net. Jokipaka tried to dig it loose. At the side of the net, Horcoff just cleaned out Dwyer.
That says everything you want to know about this game tonight. You got a team on one side just playing out the string, and the Stars that are really on the trot right now. And that line in particular for Lindy Ruff has been dynamic tonight.
Raskin shooting. It's blocked. Following up, save Lehtinen. That's the first Kane shot of the period. They score on the rebound.
Shouldn't happen. Terry? Last guy to the party to chip that over top of everything else. Stars had it defended. Boy, right on the heels of just, clean it out. Excuse me. That's an ender. This line has been their best line for the Canes tonight. Rask has probably been their best player. The Stars looked like it was just going to end after the initial shot on net. Little loose with their defending. Both the D-man, especially Jordy, got on the outside of that one and a determined goal.
Chris Terry's 8th of the season. And it's a 4-2 game with under 6 minutes to play. Puck skips in on Udobin, who misplays the puck. Sagan in there, grappling with Hainsey. Falk going over to find the puck. Eakin hurting him. Goligoski shoots it back in. Stars have still not tagged up properly.
All of a sudden, that Eakin goal looks enormous, doesn't it?
Yep. Jordan Staal into the zone, shooting it wide of the net. Falk from the line, firing. Lehtinen catches up to that and knocks it out of play with the blocker. Nestrashil and Rask assist on the Terry goal. It's 4-2 Stars with 5:18 to play. Popular color around the league and visiting Barnes, some victory green here. It is 4-2 Dallas with 5:18 to play, and the Stars are letting you create your own 3-game ticket package with the Papa John's Pick 3 plan. Choose the Pittsburgh or Chicago game plus any 2 other Stars home games, all starting at $81, and we'll throw in a large 3-topping pizza from Papa John's. 214-GO Stars. Today is how you get one.
Well, the crowds have thinned here a little bit this season in Carolina, and tonight they're up against it. They're up against NC State Duke
right
at this time of year. That's a high 30s share on television in this part of the map. It's kind of like the Stars trying to go straight up against a Cowboy game. Like you're not going to eat into that. Duke was destroying them last I saw. Giving you live updates.
Maybe we can get more on that. Rask has a goal and an assist. He wins this faceoff. Shot from Belmore off the glove. They score! And it's a 4-3 game with 5:14 to play. Oh, dear.
They find a way to surrender 3 a night. Some way, somehow. That crew out there, Rask wins it with his feet, so he's been involved in a lot. This is very reminiscent of the opening goal of the game for them. Shot from the point, rebound gets away from Kari Lehtinen. He must not have picked it up off the stick at the point. Doesn't control it with his glove. It's a sloppy goal to give up. Coming out of the TV timeout, and there's a ton of clock left, and demons in between the ears of the Dallas Stars.
Nestrashil 6th of the season. For a 4-3 game. Sevier trying to bust in against Jordan. Sevier shot blocked, and the young Czech who just scored squares up. Starts the attack through center ice, slides it to the line. Rask lost the puck. Sevier out to center. And it's tapped back. Nothing's easy. Murphy slipped it along. Lindholm shot it. Hit his own man, Nash. Oleksiak playing the body. Horkoff back of the net. Ritchie. I mean, they didn't have a shot until 7 minutes remaining in the third period. Stars turn it over here, but Nash's bid is foiled. And off the body's Horkoff to safety. Out to Demers. McKenzie following up. He tapped it back. Skinner taking off. Skinner a shot. Tried short side. Missed the net.
Rough interchange between Demers and McKenzie in neutral ice.
Hainsey trying to get Skinner in again. It's broken up and back into the Carolina zone. Sagan giving chase. 3:45 to play in the third. Across the ice, the pass gets through to Semin. Lettinen kicks it over to Ben. Semin fell down as he went after Ben in the corner. Jordan Staal.
Got to skate again. Can't be afraid to make plays in their own zone and have to move their feet. Good work by Jordy Ben there.
Skated it out of trouble, used the glass. Falk pumped it up ahead to center ice. The Stalls and Semin on the ice for the Canes. Jordy Ben. Clever play to Nemeth, who's now having a little bit of trouble in the corner. Needs some assistance. Hainsey clocked it back of the net, and Ben getting there but can't get it out against Falk. Hainsey shot it. That's blocked. And Nemeth to the boards. Couldn't slip it past Semin. Semin in front. Rask, a shot blocked. Rebound loose for Eric Staal, and the Stars grab the puck. It's Nemeth.
Patrick Nemeth looked weary tonight in this one. And here come the Canes.
2:40 to play in the third. Nestrashel along to Terry. Both have scored here in this little onslaught in the third. Demers up the wall and out. But Bellemare kept Roussel from breaking away with it. Hemsky fought to get the puck back. Roussel chipped it forward, and then Bellemare stopped him in his tracks. Thus, an icing call against Dallas with 2:15 to play in the third, and the Stars are up 4-3.
Those pushes and swells. Out in neutral ice, things look fine. Little trouble along the boards. A quick stick by Skinner. Good thing he misses the net on the short side on that turnover in neutral ice. Stars again can't get out of their own zone clean. Semin on the forecheck all of a sudden, and a loose puck in front of the net. Eric Staal takes a mad stab at it and whiffs. So the Canes take their timeout. I had a pretty good conversation with Stars general manager Jim Nill the other day in Philadelphia, and we were just talking about the nature of the season and that, and he made the point, and it's true. I know it sounds cliche, but it is. You have to learn how to win, and it's not like it's just a magic potion or anything. You do have to learn how to win, and when you do that, I think the Calgary Flames are a good exhibit of that this season. They did it early in the year. They just expect to win. It's just habitual to them. And for the Stars right now, it's the toughest thing on earth to lock down games that they're leading in. Some of it's patience, some of it's personnel, some of it's immaturity. You might need a couple more saves here in order to keep this thing at 4-3.
Extra attacker is on as Hudobin is on the bench. Face off to Lettinen's left. Spezza ties it up. Roussel jumps after the puck and then chips it out to center ice. Falk back to get it. Ahead to Skinner at the Dallas line. Trying to sashay his way past Demers. Nothing doing. He'll flip it again to center ice. 2 minutes remaining in the third. Goaltender on the bench for the Canes. Stars had a 4-1 lead. It's now 4-3. Eaves picks it off at center. Tried it. Backhanded it wide. Sevier deep in the Carolina zone. Trying to toss it in again. Skinner walking away with it to center. Skinner squared up. Puck rolling on edge. Lettinen set it down. Goligoski to the line. Carolina holding the zone. Right back to Goligoski. Eaves trying to find it. Skinner does spin. Shoots it off Lettinen and wide.
Wow.
And then it's golfed down by Sevier, and he's asking that puck was tipped, but he's not going to get that call. It's icing against Dallas.
He might be right. He was closest to it, but they're not going to get that call. Skinner's had chances on both sides. He kicked the boards. He missed wildly on the other side. This time he grabs it, forces the turnover, and walks in. Left shot, right side, screen set up. It just hit Kari Lehtinen. Drops in the butterfly, catches the tip of the blocker and goes wide.
1:21 remaining. Face off to Kari's right. Riley Nash and Vern Fiddler. Fiddler's been really good. He's won 10 of 15 draws in the game. .121 to play. All right. Do-over.
Well, Vern's showing that he's going to pull this one. The linesman's had enough. Terry was encroaching too much on the boards, and they boot the center iceman out because of that.
Nestishal wins it. Murphy pivots away from Sevier. Murphy shot it, saved Lehtinen, loose puck in the slot, cleared, rolling toward the open net. It's in!
Wow. This team can curl pretty good, I can tell you that.
It's not as good as Eric Cole.
No.
It's good.
Enough on it and enough inside curl. They at least kept them on the perimeter. There's one thrust to the front of the net and then turn, and Eves just wires it down. Up on edge, oscillates its way into the yawning cage at the other end. Stars restore the 2-goal lead.
For Patrick Eves, it's his 8th. It's a little business here. A minute remaining. Khudobin back in the net. McKenzie hurrying it over, cutting, shooting high and wide.
That feels like a balloon deflator to the Hurricanes, though. No shock that this line's out here on the other side of the empty net goal. They've been outstanding tonight.
Horkoff, Ritchie, McKenzie. There's a brow wiper for the Stars, too. Holy cow. McKenzie won't let Nash out. Now he finds a little crease. Launches it to Skinner. Skinner one-on-one with Oleksiak all the way around, and puck comes back toward him, but Oleksiak bouncing it ahead to Ben, who relays it out. Well, got a little sporty, but the Stars 3 for 4 on the trip. They've won 4 of their last 5, and they're hanging around with a 5-3 win here in Carolina.
Well, that is baby steps in the right direction. They can all breathe a little bit easier after things started to tighten up. I think both sphincters and throats were tightening in the third period, but they get the empty netter and get the full 2 points and move on to Washington.
Kari Lehtinen now goes to 7-1-2 in his last 10 decisions. We mentioned the Stars won 4 out of their last 5, and tomorrow night they're in Wash. Tonight's game produced by Jason Walsh, directed by Mark Vittorio, the associate producers John Sponsler, Doug Foster, and Cody Eastwood. For Daryl Ray and the fine crew here at the PNC Arena in Raleigh, North Carolina, I'm Ralph Strangis. Hang in there. Post-game show is coming up next.